folks, welcome back. This is John Pettipas speaking to you on the morning of Friday, the 31st day of August. Last day of the 7th month of the 2020 year in. And again, 5 minutes past 10 o'clock in the morning, Friday, the 31st day of August, 2020. A lot of you folks and wonderful viewers out there in YouTube land, computer land, been waiting for this video for quite a while. Today, I'm going to speak on Justin Trudeau, the President Prime Minister of Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. When I first met Justin Trudeau back in late August of 2013, late August 2013, my impression was that he was a cocky little showboy. That was my impression of him that day. With star qualities, there's no question, you got to grant him his due. He had star qualities, but not a lot of substance. I'm going to repeat that. My impression of him on that day in late August of 2013, when he was then opposition leader, that he was a cocky little showboy with star qualities, no question, but not a lot of substance. And here we are, 7 years later, almost 7 years to the month, 1 month shy of 7 years later, and there's not a scene that has changed my impression of him. That's a fact. I make this editorial a personal perspective, and I can sincerely say there's nothing in his last 6 years and 11 months that he's been an opposition leader, now Prime Minister since October of 2015 and re-elected in the minority government last year. So please bear with me. I'm not making this video out of politics. I remember, I can sincerely say that it's my honest opinion. Honest opinion. It's not the political aspect the late Honourable Bill Gillisway often referred to. Wonderful gentleman. And used to tell me sometime in person or on the phone, John, you certainly don't always tell me things you think I want to hear. But he respected that. The late Margaret Thatcher was like that. President Trump's like that. I'm told he goes around those meeting rooms and he asks everybody's opinion and he wants to hear it. One of Margaret Thatcher's later very good assistants said he was originally a critic for us, but he didn't hit beneath the belt. He was well taught out, and she'd listen to him. Okay, she wouldn't always agree with him, but she listened to him. So that's a sign of great leaders. Great leaders. Okay, now. I respect you people too much. I said this in videos before, and I'll say it again this morning. I respect all of you wonderful viewers too much to ever sit here and spend the time making these recordings, videos, and tell you what I think you want to hear. I will always be honest with you and sincerely tell you what I think, and that's a fact. I think most of you agree, does a pretty good job. Pettipas pretty good at telling what's on his mind. Anyway, this morning I got a few key points on Justin Trudeau. We look at, they call it ethical lapse. Well, it's a moral ethical lapse. You meet with Alacan down his private island, blah, 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 Atacan. You meet with Atacan. That's fine. Then he goes, that seems to get washed over. He's new, first time he's been Prime Minister. With youthful indiscretion, the press and the liberal lefty-loving media call it. A youthful indiscretion. Then he goes on, it's SNC Lebanon. Oh, my goodness, SNC Lebanon, La Belle Province. Thought we were a country of 10 provinces and 3 territories at La Belle Province. The jobs, must save the jobs. Well, if SNC Lebanon had went bankrupt, those contracts remain. Somebody else would have bought the assets, and those contracts would have been fulfilled, and the business would have went on. So I don't buy that crap. I don't buy the crap. Oh, we're out to save the jobs. We're out to save the jobs. Well, I just don't buy that. More on that after. Now it's this we stuff. We, blah, 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 we. The fellas started it, no doubt very sincere. They started as teenagers, boys and young men, and very sincere. And the we organization, I have no questions, done a lot of help to, done a lot to inspire people to help other people around the world. And that's wonderful, nothing wrong with that. But when the Prime Minister starts using the Federal Treasury as his personal piggy bank, draw the line there. It's wrong. Wrong. Not right. Not good. Bad stuff. I can say this whatever you want. Okay? Then we go on. He's a Prime Minister. Well, if you're pro-life, oh, you can't express your views. Not allowed. You can't run the Liberal Party. You can't get a government grant for your church or fire hall or community group. You got to sign an affidavit that you agree to. Mother of God, is this North Korea? Where, oh, dear leader, oh, great one, dear leader, and that's whatever dear leader's pushing. That's what yeah. Dear leader, great good. Dear leader, great good. Okay, Communist China. A few weeks ago, they passed a law in China in Hong Kong. They voted on it unanimously before they even, remember I had a little box up here. They voted on it. It's like, would you go up, would you buy something in a box, somebody's selling you without knowing what it was, or was it something you needed or didn't need? Was it something you wanted? They all voted on it before they even knew what was in legislation. That's what happens in communist Cuba. That's what happens in Venezuela. So this is wrong. Speaking of communist Cuba and Venezuela, okay, the debt per day that this guy is adding to the country, he is spending something like $1 billion a day, $950 million each day. Each day he's spending that, overspending. The deficit this year will be something like 350, approaching $400 billion, according to Bill Morneau. That's just not good. That's bad stuff. Okay, you give people money to stay at home. Yes, a lot of people were hurting because of this coronavirus. No question, there's hurt out there. And people, business being hurt, individuals being hurt, and families being hurt, and a lot of people, no question. But you cannot solve all the ills of the world through government spending. Gerald Ford famously said, President Gerald R. Ford, President from 1974 to 1976, he famously said, any government that's big enough to give you everything you want or need is big enough to take away everything you have. I'm going to repeat that. Gerald R. Ford, the late great President Gerald R. Ford, famously said, any government that's big enough to give you everything you want, everything you need, is big enough to take away everything you have. This is not North Korea. This is not Communist China. This is not Cuba. This is not the mess known as Venezuela. It's wrong what he's doing. It's just stupid, plain wrong. I know in this world you can't, I saw a quote in the paper recently, and the quote goes like this. He says, actually I picked up a local paper the other day. Food for thought. Too many people today know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Journalist Ann Landers, born in July 4th, 1918. Too many people today know the price of everything and the value of nothing. Well, she's a point there. That said, it doesn't mean that the people of Canada, wonderful people in Nova Scotia, the great people of Cape Breton Island, want a government that's going to just spend. Now you're going to have your HST rate go up. You're going to have your gasoline taxes go up. I can go on. I mean, it's not Canadian Tire money. It's not monopoly money. I mean, Canadian Tire has some money. It's some value. It's based on what you purchase spend. It's a rebate. It's a loyalty program. One of the first loyalty programs. It's worked out really well. Anyway, it's not monopoly money. It's real money that has to be repaid. So what Justin Trudeau's doing is wrong. We look at his cabinet. He has had, including many of his senior ministers, many of them are still in a position, that are subpar, to put it mildly. You look at the Conservative bench. People can criticize Prime Minister Harper all they want. I haven't had anybody speak ill. I don't know the last time, and I speak to a lot of people. Can't remember the last time that somebody spoke ill of Prime Minister Harper. I think grudgingly, many, even his critics will say, the man was competent. The man was competent. Whether they agree with everything he stood for, whether they liked everything he did, whether they even liked him personally, that gentleman was competent. And the Conservative Party Canada, their front bench has a lot of talent in it yet. The day that they're back in government, I'm certain you'll have a more substantial. You can't have a bunch of silver spoon folks in cabinet. It doesn't work out. They don't have life's experiences to be responsible. Anyway, several of my most recent videos have been going on a long time, and I'm going to make this one shorter. I'm almost at just over 10-minute mark already. I have no idea. I tell my cameraman Sam when he's doing a video in person here, give me the finger when I hit the 5-minute mark. I went on quite a day and said, you never gave me the finger. He said, I did, but it does no good. You keep on talking. Well, Sam, producer Sam, cameraman Sam was right. Anyway, I'm going to be brief. Justin Trudeau has star powers, but it takes mortal star power to be prime minister. You got to make decisions. Sometimes you got to respect people enough to tell them what they don't necessarily want to hear, or do what you feel's good for the greater good of the country. And he is not doing that. And I could say some very vulgar words, but I always promised I wouldn't curse on YouTube. Okay, and I will not today. But that said, there's better days ahead for his country, and his election coming. I don't know exactly when, probably not this fall. No doubt it'll be sometime in 2021, unless we have a surprise defeat of the government. They are a minority government after all. But when we have this election, I'm certain, good Lord willing, that people will have competent leaders from other parties chosen that will, people of Canada will feel suitable and acceptable to be their Prime Minister. With that, it's John Pettipas. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. We appreciate it. It's not one of you viewers out there, commenters. I don't appreciate the value greatly. Spread it around. Spread it on YouTube. Spread it around what you call the internet, one of those computer machines over there. Spread it to telephone. Talk it at bingo, the darts at work, whatever. At the beach as you walk about. Spread it around. We appreciate your viewership. Till next time, this is John Pettipas wishing all you wonderful folks all the best and God bless. Thank you very much. Have a good weekend. A happy Naval Day weekend to all the folks across the country, from Toledo and Vancouver Island, west coast of Canada, to Cape Spear, Cape Race, in beautiful Newfoundland, and through the territories, Nineveh, Northwest Territories, and Yukon. All the best. Bye for now. Thank you.